Guys, I have a spoiler theory about Wandavision. I'm going to use spoilers to explain it. But first and foremost, I want to give my brief non-spoiler thoughts on the show. I like the show a lot. The more I think about it, I needed time to think about the show after watching it Friday morning, because that's when it comes out in London time. Because of the aesthetic, 1950s, it feels like Truman Show, Bewitched. I know like there's other references. I Love Lucy, Dick Van Dyke. But I haven't seen those shows. I've seen bits of Bewitched. I've seen the Truman Show, which is an homage to that. Twilight Zone, 1950s stuff. But for me, I'm naturally more attracted when it comes to superhero characters in TV and film to more characters take themselves a bit more seriously. And I'm looking forward to other projects, Moon Knight, as opposed to something more like this, which is clearly not tailored for me. But the reason why I like it regardless, it just feels fun when I don't take it too seriously. That's why I love it. What the It's also funny as well, and that hits me. But guys, I'm just gonna get that out of the way quickly because I want to get to my theory that I have about this show. Spoilers that I'm gonna use to explain it. Guys, I don't think Wanda is just having an episode uh, with her powers that's affecting her mind. I really think they're teasing her to be a future villain in the MCU. That's my theory. And I'm going to use spoilers to explain that theory. Now, the first reason I think this, I know some people are thinking, well, that's an obvious thing that so many people are talking about. Why are you unique in that respect? I'm not going to pretend I am. But here's what stuck out to me that made me think this is more long term, the changes that are happening to her, than we think. The first reason why I think they're teasing her to be a future, like, fully full villain in the MCU, and in this show, maybe, the watch, the Strucker watch that is showed in episode 2 during the commercial, quote unquote, commercial break. That watch is clearly named after, I checked it on Wikipedia, the dude who experimented on Wanda and on her brother during Age of Ultron, at the end of Winter Soldier, in the post-credit or mid-credit scene, I forget. And here's why I feel like that shows Wanda being the villain. I feel like that's a defense mechanism in her brain to try and make us think that someone's taking advantage of her instead of her going apeshit on the outside world using her reality powers. I feel like her past trauma being experimented on by Hydra is her subconscious's way of trying to make the audience feel as if constantly, no, there are other forces at play, as opposed to Wanda being the person who is doing this to herself and other people are observing her. That's what I think is happening. And I think it's showing that her subconscious wants to let go of that sense of guilt, immorality, and shame about her past, about feeling probably guilty about Vision's death, about her brother's death. She had some kind of psychic connection with her brother, because at the end of Age of Ultron, when he dies, she screams out in pain like she felt those bullets being riddled through him. So she's clearly more powerful than she understands, and it reverberated back just through that watch alone, that clue. But the thing that reinforced that for me was the idea of episode 2 in general. Episode 2, because of the magic show, it kept pointing to this idea that actual magic tricks are just misdirection, and no one questions misdirection. Someone brought this up, I think it was Wanda, and I forget how she said it. Wanda brought this up, Vision brought it up in a different way during the magic show. The actual the abilities they have because they're unbelievable, him flying with no like harness around him. So people look at that and they're like, wait a second, how did you do that? Until they show the trick behind it, right? And just to cover up for the fact that they can actually do magic. Magical tricks are explainable. You can explain them away. Oh, there's a secret compartment in this hat, so you can pull out the rabbit and nothing happens. Misdirection is the metaphor for the show. The beekeeper dudes, all these people that you're seeing, I'm sure some of them are actual people trying to invade Wanda's minds. The helicopter scene, the scene with the choking, like it's showing her brain short circuiting. I really believe though that if there are people who are outside actors from the outside world coming into Wanda's mind, they are observing her because they don't understand why she is so OP. It's almost like I'll compare it to a rival. You don't understand this alien force, so you've set up an entire military base around these flying saucer objects around the world. Very typical of this kind of OP god tier level person among mere mortals. Very typical of that. And I think they're posing, to bring it back to my original thing with the watch to connect it. I feel like she's trying to overcompensate by showing these kind of things that remind you of her past, so that when these villains actually invade her mind, again, you think of it in the same light, like, oh, this is a clue that someone's trying to invade her brain. It keeps tricking the viewer. That's my point. Instead of you thinking, no, she is probably really powerful and everyone's horrified of her, like they're horrified of the most savage version of the Hulk or some shit, but on a different level, because Scarlet Witch is that lady in the comics. Thanos, beyond Thanos level, with the gauntlet, powerful. And I think that's what's happening, guys, essentially. I think this entire show is going to keep throwing curveballs. Meanwhile, Wanda gets secretly more and more powerful, and we don't realize that she is the show's very own villain, instead of them teasing like other people who can really go up against her. Because who can? If they're really trying to make her similar to the House of M storyline and certain other comics where she has those reality bending powers fully, who can really fight her? No one. She's god tier level threat. Phoenix Force, they haven't even introduced the X-Men yet. So I don't know. I think they're setting her up as her own villain, and she is trying to set up these defense mechanisms in her mind. So it looks like someone's invading her mind. So when you see actual people, there was a lady in the show who I know is from, she's gonna play a famous character from Marvel Comics in this world. When they show you characters like that, the beekeeper dudes, the helicopter that was in color, it makes you think, oh, someone's taking advantage of Wanda. This is a sign of her mind breaking because someone's trying to do something to her and her mind's reacting to it. No, her mind is reacting because she's gonna go evil. Episode 3 Anakin, but better, because the prequels are not good. I said it. Tell me your thoughts down below, guys. What do you think of my thoughts, my theory? Are they setting her up to be a fully fledged villain in this show and in the future of the MCU? Or am I just saying what everyone else is saying, that she's losing her mind and her reality powers are manifesting? It's making her go crazy. Tell me your thoughts. Press that thumbs up button if you like this video. Share with everyone you know. And press that subscribe button for more. It's right there. Don't be shy. Do it. Click. Other than that, guys, I'm signing off. Salute.